The GOES satellites are really a national treasure.
These satellites are providing a huge service, and they provide the safety net for people so that they can get out of harm's way. When I think of GOES, it's not just a weather satellite.
The GOES satellites provide us very critical data for space weather.
That's very critical and very important for astronauts because we're not protected from Earth's atmosphere from this space weather.
One of the big things is search and rescue.
The GOES satellites save lives, not just the search and rescue distress alerting, but with real-time monitoring of severe weather events.
Well, GOES-P is the last in the series.
We want to make sure that we have a capability on orbit for continuous weather monitoring for this country.
So GOES-P will be important to be a spare satellite.
The first GOES satellite was launched in 1975, and that was called GOES-A. It was the first time that we actually saw an image of what the weather was creating on Earth.
They were satellites you called spinners. The instrument that was on it actually rotated with the satellite, and so it took a long time to actually get the images from the Earth.
The next generation, which was the previous one to the current generation, I through M, was the first series that was 3-axis stabilized, which meant it actually sat and pointed at the Earth as opposed to spinning and having to take images while it's spinning.
So we're able to continuously monitor weather.
When we jumped to 3-axis stabilized spacecraft,
The next generation is always better than the previous generation. GOES-P will be the best of the lot.
the spacecraft has the ability to be very, very stable.
Our images, our data is used real time. Real time, we have to be able to calibrate and know that when we look at that image, where exactly is that point on the Earth's surface.
When you have a huge hurricane, you want to have an accurate prediction. If it's off by kilometers or miles and you got people in harm's way that you didn't think were going to be in harm's way.
So when the spacecraft's sitting in space, it's looking down at the Earth and it stays stationary like this. But this solar array out here moves and tracks the sun. So that way it's always looking at the sun and can take a scan every minute.
Different phenomenon from the sun is constantly bombarding the Earth. Although you might not know it, the solar weather affects you every day down here as well. Not only just astronauts, it affects people on Earth.
Space weather can affect the power grid, it can affect communication with planes, it can cause errors in GPS, it can damage satellites.
That whole series of satellites, GOES-NOP, has some new capabilities for us in space weather. This is data that arrives almost instantaneously and therefore allows us to provide very timely alerts and warnings.
The search and rescue system is another valuable tool for these satellites. In many cases, 1 or 2 bursts from a beacon saves a person's life.
GOES satellites are operational satellites, meaning they're not experimental, they're constantly up there. So it is constantly giving us data with no gaps in the data coming to us.
In the future, we're going to get better resolution, and not only that, faster images. We can start getting images on the order of 5 minutes as opposed to the 26 minutes it takes to get a full Earth disk for the GOES-NOP version. So quicker images, better resolution, better information, save lives.